Guys, and welcome to this session on RPA by Intellipaat. So RPA, or Robotic Process Automation, is one of the most trending technologies of 21st century. It has recently gained a lot of popularity and there's a lot of different openings across different sectors for this particular technology. And today that's why we have decided to shed more light on what is RPA, how it works, and what are the different career aspects in it. But before we get into all of that, please subscribe to our channel to never miss an update from Intellipaat. Now, let's talk about today's agenda. So today's agenda is sixfold and pretty much very straightforward. We'll be beginning off with a brief introduction to what is RPA, and there we will understand what is this term RPA, where it came from, and what does it actually mean. And from there, we'll quickly jump on and talk about how RPA works. So in this section, we will be taking an example of things, and I'll show you by example as to how RPA works, and we'll take a simple program also in UiPath to understand how RPA actually works. So that we will see in the second section. So once we understand what RPA is and how it works, let's talk about career scope in the next one, so that you understand what are the different jobs out there, what is the requirement, is there demand in the industry, if so, what is like. And in the third section, that is the career scope, we will be discussing all of that. Also, we will be discussing the impact of Corona on RPA, before Corona and after Corona, what has been the scene. So we can see that in the third section. After that, we'll talk about the skills required for you to enter this industry for RPA developers or any other suit which is related to RPA for that matter. That will be the fourth section. And from there, we'll move on and talk about which RPA tools to learn right now. So who are the market leaders and what are the tools that you're looking to learn in order to enter the industry very easily. And then we'll talk about the further learning as to how you can explore more about RPA or any other technologies for that matter. So that is about the agenda, guys. I hope this is very clear to you. So without wasting any further time, let's just get into the session. What is RPA? So RPA basically stands for robotic process automation. So it basically corresponds to the process of automating operations with robots without human interaction with the system. Makes sense? No? Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's break this term into three parts. So RPA is made up of three simple words, right? So robotic, process, and automation. So each terms individually mean something for this particular term out there, right? So robotic is anything which mimics human action. So anything which mimics my actions or your actions or anything that we do can be termed as robotic. Process is a set of sequential actions which leads to a desired result. And automation basically stands for anything that is done without human intervention. So in a nutshell, if you take all of these factors together, robotic process automation would actually mean that if there is some process that you generally do by yourself, it is done by some robot based on the rules and the sequence of actions that you have provided while you are not present. A very good example for that would be simply think about, let's say if you wanted to extract data from a website and put it to your Excel sheet, or if you wanted to take certain PDFs and read that PDF and find certain elements inside of that PDF and paste it somewhere, right? Or you wanted to open a browser, go to a particular website, click on a few links and do some manipulation with respect to it. So what you can do with RPA is you can define the rules as to, okay, now you have to open the web browser. Now you have to go to, let's say, google.com. In google.com, let's say you wanted to search for particular stocks, which could be Tesla for that matter. So you go to Tesla and in there you can find out what is the, let's say, current value of their stocks, and you can retrieve those value and put it somewhere. So RPA is basically something which is based on set of sequential actions. So any industry which has repetitive actions can work with RPA. So now let's talk about how does RPA work. So we understand what is RPA. Let's take another example and dive into how RPA actually works. So RPA is basically a technology. It's not one particular software, right? So RPA is a technology. Just like programming is a technology, and you can do programming through a lot of different things, right? You can program through Java, C++, or any other programming language for that matter. Similarly, RPA is a technology which can be implemented through various different tools which are out there. Some of the notable tools which are there for RPA are UiPath, Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, X Factor, and there's a lot of more tools which are out there. So you have a lot of different tools which allow you to implement this technology, which is RPA. Of course, all of these tools work in different kinds of fashion, have different kinds of look and view and feel to how you can use them, but the end product remains the same. What all of these tools are designed to do is basically take all of your repetitive actions that you want to do and eliminate them. For example, let's say there is a kind of a report that you have to generate every single day, and you have to mail the entire thing to your boss, let's say on Monday. On every Monday, you're supposed to give out the details of the report, and based on that, a chart. And let's say Monday to Friday, you take those reports, and every Monday, then you ship it again. You have to send this through a mail. So you could either do that by yourself, all that you want, or you can design an RPA program which basically brings down all of the report factors for you, takes those factors and puts them into an Excel sheet, takes that Excel sheet and mails it to your manager automatically every single week on Monday on the time that you define. It could be as simple as putting one single click to do all of these tasks in one go. So that is what basically this idea behind RPA is. So how does it do that? So talking about how the program itself performs is basically you giving instructions to a robot to do something, right? So you have different kinds of robots available across different kinds of RPA tools. So and you can have these RPA tools are so good right now that you can record your actions. So whatever you're doing on your PC, RPA can record it, build a logic out of it, and then you can customize those logic to execute processes. For example, let's say if you wanted to click on Google Chrome, go to Amazon website and search about the different prices of different earphones which are out there. You can create a program that does that for you. So what it will do is follow the particular actions that you give. Then once you have defined those set of actions, which is opening the browser and doing different things, it will take those set of sequential actions and the robot will implement it as you have done it exactly. Why is it beneficial for any company? So there is scope for human error for a lot of repetitive actions. So let's say if a company does some manual data processing, there will be a scope for a lot of different fault out there, right? So there could be numbers miswritten, or there could be some other kinds of problem. But a robot does not make those mistakes. Robot is relentless, is very accurate. It keeps on working. While humans might tire out, robots don't. Right, so that is the another factor why RPA is so popular in the world right now, because people want to eliminate those repetitive, tedious tasks that does not require that much skill, and instead of that, you can apply your manpower who is out there into more skillful actions which would require special expertise which a human brain can do, and these basic tasks can be let down to RPA, which can take over the world. Right. So a simple example, let's take a simple example to work things out again. So another example of a real RPA implementation would be invoice processing. So let's say if a company like Zomato or Swiggy is out there who gets like 1 million of invoices every single day, and what you want is to take the invoice details and pick out the valuable information from that invoice. So let's say the name, customer ID, cost, date, and everything with respect to that, and put them into an Excel sheet. A very simple data entry process. So you would have 1 million of invoices which are coming in. Now you can either deploy your people to just go through each and single invoice, read the customer name, write the data, check for duplicate values for customer ID and all of those things. But instead of doing that, you can create an RPA program that does all of this for you. And this is not just this industry. It could be on any other industry which is out there. So there are various different industries which have repetitive tasks, right? So there is IT, there is banking. Banking has a lot of forms that they have to process. There is healthcare. In healthcare, it has a lot of implementations, like they can publish reports to the website, and they can do a lot of different things. And based on the reports, they can manipulate different systems inside of the architecture that they have built. They can do that. And then there is insurance, which again, a lot of processing work can be done. There is manufacturing where you can implement RPA. There is telecommunication, which has a lot of implementations for RPA. So there's a lot of different sectors which can adopt RPA, because every sector has some kind of a repetitive task that they have to do again and again and again on their systems. But instead of doing that, you can have RPA do it, and you can save your manpower to do more skillful tasks, which will be much better for your company, because A, it will be more efficient, B, it reduces the number of amounts of errors which are out there, and C, your entire system would be more robust and more faster and much better. Right, so that is the idea behind RPA. So let me give you another example to make things much more clearer. So let me quickly go to Google and show you. So let's say if I wanted to open Google website every day. From here, I wanted to search for Google Finance. Then in here, I go to Google Finance. I want to see the Tesla stock, right? And this number, which is this one, this right here, if I wanted to extract this data every single day, so this will change every single day. Right here you can see these numbers are changing every single day. So if, let's say, my company works in stock market and we want to monitor how these stocks are fluctuating every single day, and I can give this task to one guy who will be involved in every single day jotting down these numbers and doing this. Or instead we can design an RPA program which takes all of this information and then directly writes it to an Excel sheet. So why don't we do that? So I've pre-made a program for this. So this is what you're seeing on your window right now is the UiPath. So this is what UiPath is, and on the left hand side you can see a lot of different activities that you can do with respect to Excel, CSV, a lot of different things which are out there, open browser, and a lot of different things that you can do with respect to automating different things, right? So UI automation is there, PowerShell script, environment, and data tables and everything. So these you can get more in touch with when we cover different things in more depth. For understanding now, let me just demonstrate what the program is doing. So you can see this is the sequence that is going to be followed, right? So it will be opening a browser. Then after opening the browser, it is looking for Tesla. Once it goes to Tesla, what it is looking for is this particular number. So whatever would be there in that particular region, it could be this number, it could be some other number. It will extract that data. Then it will bring that data to me. It will write it for me in a message box that is just for my representation to you. And other than that, what I would ask it to do is write it to a sheet which is located at this particular place. So let me show you the sheet real quickly. So this sheet is right here, this test sheet. This sheet is empty right now, right? So what we would be expecting is the UiPath robot to go and fetch these details and put it in that Excel sheet. So let's quickly automate that program and see what happens. So it is very easy to run this. All you have to do is this one simple task. I have to click this and it will do all of these actions one by one by one. So let's see. So it's running now. It goes to the website, it opens the information, and as you can see, whatever the information is here, it has loaded and pasted as a message box. But it is not just that. We wanted it to paste it to our Excel sheet as well. So let's try to open our sheet right now. So it will take a couple of seconds. And you can see the information has been written down here. It's 420.28, which is the actual information, has been put out here, right? So as it was in here, it is as same as here, the information which was there. So it is just one simple example of the power of RPA, right? So it automated everything that we asked it to do, and everything was implemented very simply. So it is just a basic simple example. It could be the actual things that you implement are much more complicated than that. More complications with this one could be we are extracting an entire sheet of information and putting it to an Excel sheet, right? So for now, we just took one single point of information and put it somewhere, but it could be a huge implementation where you have to take millions and millions of sheets and a lot of information which is out there and write in the range. And every day, based on that range, you can plot graphs. You can do a lot of different things with respect to that, and you can write those information to your backend based on some particular programs that you have. You can also do Citrix automation, which is automation on a virtual environment. So it not necessarily has to be on your PC itself. It could be someone else's virtual PC that you can automate also. So RPA gives you all of these options in one place where you can automate all of the tasks which is out there and make things much more faster, efficient, and less prone to errors. So that is the basic idea behind RPA. So now that we have understood what is RPA and how it works, let's talk about the job trends and the salary. If McKinsey & Company is to be believed, and I tell you that a lot of people believe in it, it's a very huge organization which does a lot of good work. They say that it is estimated that the automated systems could undertake work equivalent of 140 million jobs by 2025. So there will be 140 million jobs which RPA could eliminate. So what does it mean that RPA is taking jobs away? Is it evil? No, it is not. What RPA is doing is it is removing those jobs which are tedious and kind of boring and which are basically repetitive. It is taking those jobs and it is converting them into more skillful jobs. So the jobs that will open now would be for the more skilled personnel who know RPA and would be earning much better because these becomes more skilled employees. So what we are looking is to transform towards more skilled employees, which will be out there. So RPA will be opening a lot of opportunities than it's taking away as well. And those opportunities which are going to be open would be much more skill intensive, so will be much more better paid. So that is the point that RPA states from McKinsey & Company. And if we were to talk about the trends, so right before Corona, if we take the information into in here, so if you see these graphs from February 8, 2015 to August 4, 2019, we have a very good spike in the graph, and it is going constantly up. Barring Corona, the numbers were not supposed to come down. And let me give you an example of what the industry was expected. So as I told you before, RP is implemented across various different industries, right? So there is telecommunications, there is healthcare, there is manufacturing, there is others. You can see the numbers are increasing as 2020, 2021. It was expected to grow at this rate and reach the market cap of around 4,000, 400,000, 4,000 million out there. But these numbers are a bit lower now because nobody expected the corona to hit the markets, but this was taken before the market hit. So this was the general expected growth, and once things open, this will spike again, and there will be a lot of openings for RPA again. So that is another good thing about RPA. Moving further, let's talk about the number of openings right now and before corona. Before corona, we have this information where we see the number of openings to be 1855, 794, and these are very good companies like SAP Labs, a very good company. There is IBM India, which is again a great company. Flipkart, Capgemini. So all of these tech giants like Oracle, Wipro, L&T Infotech, all of these good companies are investing into RPA, and you can see a lot of different openings were there, and these jobs were available in India, and in if you are from USA, these jobs were looking at 2,597 full-time jobs and different contract jobs, part-time jobs. A lot of different jobs were there before corona, but after corona things have taken a hit, won't lie to you. And these are the numbers right now. So as you can see, there are around 60 openings in IBM India right now. There is only 53 in Accenture as compared to the previous ones. If you see, IBM India was at 669. It has taken a huge hit to 60, but what you can expect is that this will rise again since the openings were there before. And obviously the market has taken a hit, so number of openings are less right now. That is something which was not expected, but that is the impact that a pandemic has on the society. But once this is over, right, so these things, it will take its course and it will come back to the market. There will be a lot of openings, the market will flourish. At that point of time, RPA will be a hot and trending technology. So what we would want to do is upscale yourself right now so that you are ready for when the market opens. And these jobs were no ordinary jobs. So we have compiled the information about what the numbers look like. So in USA, the fresher is earning about $65,000, whereas in India, the fresher is earning about 6 LPA. Whereas you talk about the experienced developers, they are earning around 100,000 per annum, and in India, the experienced developer is around on the salary wage of 14 LPA. What I mean by an experienced developer is anyone who has, let's say, more than 3 to 4 years of experience. These people would be on those numbers, and people who have, let's say, 0 to 2 years of experience, these people are looking at 6 as the figure of the salary which is out there. So that was about the job trend and salary. So what will help you land these jobs? So I showed you a lot of different jobs which are out there, right? So there would be a lot of skills which is required for you to enter the industry. You cannot enter the industry without having some skills, and that is pretty obvious. So let's talk about the skills which you will be requiring to become an RPA developer. So again, these skills are pretty much very straightforward. There are few things that you should have. So a good problem solving skill and strong analytical skills is required for basically any kind of programming job which is out there, and RPA is no different. So anyone who wants to enter these fields should have good problem solving ability. So if somebody tells you, okay, this has to be done, you should directly make up in your mind like, okay, I can do this to solve this problem in terms of RPA. So I can build these things which will implement the solution. So those things come from practice. Those things comes from looking around at a lot of different problems and seeing the solution. So that is the basic idea of behind what you will be doing with RPA also. So good problem solving skill and strong analytical skill is important if you're looking to hit the industries, because a lot of industries will give you questions to solve while they conduct interviews for you as an RPA developer. Other thing that will help you get shortlisted very easily is the knowledge of C# and .NET. So a lot of companies, including IBM and Accenture, are looking for RPA developers who have insights with C# and .NET as well, because most of the RPA tools are also based on .NET. So these information help you understand the program much better and do make the program that you are making much more efficient. So knowledge of C# and .NET are seen as something which is important in the industry. But this is something you can gain later on also. What is the most important thing is the good grasp over RPA tools. So there are a lot of different RPA tools which are out there. It is very important that you master at least one or two. At least one is very necessary, but a lot of industry people, if you ask them, they will tell you that it will be better if you have more than one. So we'll be discussing in the next one what are the tools that you should learn, but it is very important that you have mastery in more than one, or at least one you have to master, and other you could be up par, and it would still work. Other thing that you would be requiring as an RPA developer would be the business acumen. So business acumen is required for any job that you're doing. So business acumen, basically what it means is that you understand the industry that you're working in and you make the solutions based on that. So let's say if you are in the healthcare industry, you must understand what your stakeholders are telling you, right? So this product that you are building or this solution that you are building through RPA, it should not ignore certain factors which are important to your particular industry, and similarly goes for supply chain or any other industry that you are working for. Business acumen will basically allow you to create solutions which are more particular to your industry and will be beneficial to your company, which is in any, say, let's say, X particular field, and that knowledge of that field helps you make programs which are much more efficient and more let's say adaptive to that particular domain, and it is something which is decided by any or every company. Apart from that, good communication skills is very important. So as an RPA developer, you'd be growing across the domains, right? So there are different jobs in RPA now as well. So there is RPA business analyst is there. Now there are RPA developers, there are automation architects, there is a lot of different kinds of people who are involved in testing also. So what you would be requiring while working with RPA is that you have to speak to a lot of people, right? So there will be your product manager that you have to speak to. You have to speak to the stakeholders. You have to bring a talk across your team also about how you're building the solution. So you would be requiring to explain how the program works and how you can solve those things. So communication skills is something which is deemed important for every job, and RPA is no different to that. So you would be requiring to collaborate with different people who are in your team and outside of your team. Hence, communication skill is very important when it comes to RPA as well. So with that, we have covered all of the skills that you would be needing. Next up is the which tools are there that you should learn. So RPA tools which you should learn are basically three. So you have three market leaders in UiPath, Automation Anywhere, and Blue Prism. There are a lot of different tools out there. I'm not denying that, but these three are deemed as the market leaders in the world right now. So let me brief you through all of these tools one by one. So again, all of these three tools, you can master any of them and you'd be good to go in the industry, and mastering two would be, let's say, more beneficial for you in my personal opinion. So where to start would be the question that I would be answering right now. So let me tell you about all of these three first. So UiPath, the one which you saw just now, is a very easy to understand, easy to work with tool. Very simple. It gives you a visual designer, which we saw, where you can see how the program is being executed, what is the flow of the program being executed. Very easy to learn and very simple, very scalable, and a lot of industries like that. A lot of companies in the industries like that if you know UiPath. Second one is Automation Anywhere. It does not have the visual designer as we saw in the UiPath, where you can see what the program is doing. This is more of a script based, so you have one line after the other about what is happening to your program. And again, this is again another very, very highly scalable and reliable tool, and it is very good to work with Automation Anywhere. The third one is Blue Prism, is probably one of the most used tools in the industry. It is very highly reliable, highly scalable. Again, it has a visual designer, which makes it very easy to work with. But there's a problem with respect to using Blue Prism. So let's say you are at a starting position now, right? So you want to learn about RPA and to talk about different tools in RPA. So for doing that, there are a few things that you have to keep in mind. When you're starting to learn, what you don't want to do is start learning, invest, let's say 5-6 lakhs into it, and then find out maybe this is not your passion. So what you would want is to understand that this is the field for you. So for that, what you would want is to run programs or run with the softwares which have trial versions, right? So UiPath and Automation Anywhere gives you the opportunity to work with these things. So Automation Anywhere has a trial version which gives you the software for n number of days. I'm not really sure on the number. It is around 45 to 60. I'm not really sure. It gives you the Automation Anywhere software for 60 days, let's say free trials that you can use and understand how Automation Anywhere works. Whereas for UiPath, if you are a single guy trying to learn or an SME, there is a community edition available for this particular tool, so you can interact with it, learn with it, and very easy to use. You can understand how RPA works through this tool. But while talking about Blue Prism, we do not have those functionalities. It does not have any free version available to learn. That's why a lot of people who are starting do not start right away with Blue Prism. They work with UiPath because it is similar to Blue Prism in terms of visual designer. And you can master UiPath and Automation Anywhere. And when you, let's say, go inside the industry and find out that this is something that you want, you can explore Blue Prism. It is fairly similar, but it has different functionalities on its own as well. In my opinion, where you should start is probably UiPath or Automation Anywhere. And both of these tools are very good, very outstanding tools. My personal favorite is UiPath because of its very easy readability of how the code is moving. So that particular visual designer makes it much more interactive and easier to use. So that's why I personally prefer UiPath over Automation Anywhere. Other than that, both of these tools are absolutely outstanding, and Blue Prism is also absolutely outstanding. Very good tools. You can learn any of these three and you would be in demand in the industry. So let's move along. Talk about learning path of RPA. So we at Intellipaat, we understand that an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest, right? So that's why we create a lot of free content in the form of blogs and YouTube tutorials. So there's a lot of different technologies that we post about, and we post almost every single day. So you can read about a lot of different technologies. If you're an avid reader, go and check out Intellipaat blogs. If you're someone who likes watching information with respect to video tutorials, then we have, let's say, 699 hours of video tutorials on different technologies so that you can learn about them and master them. Apart from that, we have comparison videos as well as informative videos like this one, where we talk about what that tool is and what is the career scope in it. We have those as well on our YouTube channel, so you can check them out for your information. And if, let's say, in one particular technology you feel like you need more in-depth, you need industry level projects, and you want to work with us and you want to understand with us, you want to be able to ask one-on-one doubts, then what I would recommend is enrolling with us. So with that, you can go ahead and learn with us very easily. So with that, we have come to the end of this presentation on YouTube. However, we are having a Q&A session on our webinar. So I would be asking the person handling the chat right now to put down the webinar link for the people who are watching on YouTube. So in the Q&A session, we'll be taking all of your doubts one by one. So those of you who are on the webinar with us right now, I would request you to start posting questions, and we will be taking all of your questions right now. So we will be having all of the questions, and these questions don't need to be extremely technical. You can ask any different questions based on your, let's say, resume or different things. If you want to ask, you can ask, and we'll be happy to assist you with all of that. So with that, we have come to the end of this session, and it was nice interacting with all of you, and I will see you everyone very soon on YouTube again. But those of you who want to ask doubts can move on to webinar right now, and we will be taking all of the questions. So with that, I would like to sign off. Thank you so much for watching.